I love women. In fact, interesting statistic: 100% of the people I've ever had sex with were women.
Andrew fucking Tate. Your bald-headed badger, an absolute beast of a human being. Or just a view farming pussy. We don't know that, but in this video we will find it out when he tries to come and defend himself against Piers Morgan in his latest interview. We break that all down and react to his video right after this intro. Hit it! Welcome to Humble Discussions, and tonight's topic, Andrew Tate. Yes, the man who's been banned more times than cocaine. I don't know, it just seems that way. However, I do want to make a point. There are some very minutely likable topics that he discusses, which brings light to the social issues of the world where, yes, women are treated at a certain way which should not be like that, and he kind of brings it in light, and then I think he deviates. And tonight we see one such interview where he appears in front of Piers Morgan, yes, none other than Piers Morgan, and he tries to defend himself. Let's see what he has to say, and we try to break it down, and we try to react to it on how true to himself, how true to his content, how true to his audience Andrew Tate actually is. Let's start the video. I think that will give us more perspective to what Andrew Tate exactly is.
Andrew Tate's the most famous man you've probably never heard of, but the chances are your children will have. Videos of Tate have been viewed billions of times online. He's built an enormous following of mostly young men, and his often scandalous views about women that have made him notorious across the world. Views like this.
Okay, here we go.
So I think my sister is her husband's property, yes. When a bride is walking down the aisle to marry the groom, the father walks next to her and gives her away. True or false?
Tate's opinions on mental.
Firstly, okay, this was a snippet. This wasn't an exact interview. Like, this is not an interview on how it starts. Firstly, and secondly, who are these dudes? Like, who conducts these podcasts? Like, who are they? Just sit there. What do they discuss about? What do they lack in real life that they want to fulfill through these trashy podcasts? I have no clue. But somehow these kind of men have gained some kind of clout, which is excessively high, and now they are all over the internet. And people like us are responsible for it. I don't even know what's in this video, but I just know it's an Andrew Tate video, so I just put this overlay on and I started to react to it. I don't know what we are going to face next. So, and secondly, thirdly, no dude, it's not. She's no one's property. It's kind of a ritual where a woman leaves her own home and starts an individual life. So it's not giving her away, right? You're not giving her away. You are, if anything, you are congratulating her, or giving your best wishes to her for her to start a new life with her partner, whoever that guy or girl is. You're not giving her away or like a commodity or a property. That's how you bless someone and pray for her well-being with whoever else she's starting a new life or the second half of her life with. So it's definitely not giving her away. Textbook misogyny, by the way. I mean, it's not even the video though. We have so much to talk about.
Mental illness are equally controversial.
Mental illness, by the way.
I don't believe in depression. Don't message me about depression because I don't believe in it. If you're asleep in your bed in the middle of the night and you hear a noise and you believe in ghosts, now you're afraid. But if you don't believe in ghosts, it's the wind and you go back to sleep. You give the ghosts power by believing in them.
Well, there's some.
What did he just say? I don't even want to go to the ghost thing, buddy. Like, I don't even want to reach there. Everything before that is so messed up. Firstly, clinical depression, right? Clinical depression is something that is backed by medical science. There are so many research papers on it. I'll mention a few on my in my pinned comments or maybe my description somewhere. Just go and have a read. It's something that is backed by medical science, and someone like Andrew Tate on a video with his bare body coming in and gaining clout, a video views farming simp, comes out to the world and says something which is definitely not true, and something that he does not believe in, it gives them a platform to have that leverage where he says that he doesn't believe in, and he never says anything that you shouldn't believe in or not. He just says that he doesn't believe in, and because the way he portrays it out seems more, I don't know, if anything, it's pseudo masculinity. By the way, it's not masculinity, because we men are afraid of a lot of things. We are insecure, we are depressed at certain times. It's not a gender thing anyway, but he portrays masculinity in a style where it becomes really obnoxious to believe in men who are like that. I don't think there is a lot of men who are like that, and it's a very false portrayal of things. And thirdly, when you talk about depression, there are times when people feel shitty about stuff, and when they feel it for the longest, and because of that feeling they have an hindrance for progression in their life in some way or the other, that is where you call it depression. That hindrance is what you call depression, where you can't get past it, and if you stay there for a long time, that hindrance doesn't let you progress, then it becomes a really serious medical condition. And that is where things like these start piling up, where you have to be under medication, where you have to be under therapy, or whatever sorts of treatment that you can. And it is a genuine kind of mental illness. It is an illness that people go through, just like cancer, just like normal fever, just like cold and flu. Who gives him these ideas about not believing in it? Again, if he doesn't believe it, keep it to yourself, dude. Just don't put it on the internet when you have such a large following. I don't know why does he have that, by the way.
Every major social media platform banned Tate amid a global backlash and concerns about his influence on the young people who watch him. But copies of his videos are still shared millions of times every day. This show is called Uncensored.
Top G, by the way.
His views directly, so he flew from Romania to sit here in this studio, and the full explosive interview airs later this week. Here's a bit of what's to come. Do you respect women?
Absolutely. Why wouldn't I?
Why wouldn't he do? Why wouldn't he respect women, right? His entire content is based on not respecting women at all, by the way. But he does respect, because he's coming on a show that is watched on a really large scale, even more than YouTube or his own channel. He's coming on the show. He has nothing else to say than saying he respects women, because he has to say that. Because, of course, he wouldn't want to come back to YouTube, right? He wouldn't want to come back to Twitter, right? He wouldn't want to come back to Instagram, right? Who doesn't want more money, right? He of course, he doesn't want it. So he respects women. He respects women for some reason. He says that, but his videos don't. Anyway.
Do you think that 18, 19-year-old women are more attractive than 25-year-old women?
I think there's attractive people. That's a loaded question. I don't know.
Well, it's not really, is it?
I can't.
You know why I'm asking you?
Of course I do, but I can't sit here and
say. For the benefit of viewers who don't know why I'm asking, you said this. In general, this is also one of the reasons men find youth attractive. You want to blow up the internet? I'll blow up the internet right effing now. The reason 18 and 19-year-olds are more attractive than 25-year-olds is because they've been through less dick. People say, oh, you can't say that, but yes, I can. A 19-year-old is more attractive than a 26-year-old woman, and I'll tell you why. Because that 26-year-old has talked to more guys, been to the club more times, been effed and dumped more times, more arguments, more mess.
Look at him listening. Look at his face. He looks like a giant penis himself. Look at him. You can literally draw a penis on his face right now, and it will look like a penis. Anyway, it's not about insulting or disrespecting him at this point of time. What he says here is, what he has said in the past on a video is, he finds youth more attractive. Physically. He feels an 18-year-old woman or a 19-year-old woman are more attractive than a 25-year-old woman. And the idea behind it being that because from the age of 18 to 25, those 7 years of a girl's life, they have been through a lot of sexual intercourse or sexual implications or sexual actions, basically. And that makes a girl less attractive. How? What is the idea behind it? I don't, why is this even a thing? Why does Piers Morgan have to call him out and give him more clout at this point of time? Why? Bro, just don't call him on your show, dude, and, give him more exposure for no reason. He's been banned for a reason. Some weird man or some weird philosopher did say, and I'm going to put it on my thumbnail as well, that you can kill the man but you can't kill the idea. And I think he's succeeding. This is what he wants. Getting banned was, I think, his biggest marketing strategy, and I think that has been helping him. Why call him and ask these stupid questions? Because he has no answer to it. I'm sure whatever answer he's going to give is going to be a load of crap. That is what he's going to do. I will play it right now, and I can promise you whatever he says will make no fucking sense, because the entire point is so dumb. What is this attractiveness thing? It's a very big perspective thing. For me, firstly, I'm not going below 18. No one should go there, right? It's a no-go zone, right, guys? Anything from 18 is the zero here, right? So from 18 to 25, his analogy, right? Not mine. I find women 30, 35, 40, 45, 60, 70. I find people who are attractive to me in a certain way are attractive to me, right? It's not about the age thing at this point of time. It's a lot of other things that make a woman attractive rather than just the looks. What he feels is just, I think, attractiveness for him is just, I think, looks for some reason. And because youth, so more attractive. I don't get it, dude. So he's an outright misogynist who's trying to deny it. He's not even good at hiding it. He says he's not misogynist, but he's not even good at hiding it. What the fuck, bro? Like, it's so sad. Like, your cover is so sad. Your cover is not even viable at this point of time. If a woman from 18 to 25 does go through a lot of, sexual modifications or sexual implications or a series of sexual intercourse with different men or different women, how does that make you less attractive? How? If at anything it makes you more mature or more, open to life or open to different perspectives on what people find pleasure with or what people relate their lives with throughout the course. Any kind of experience will help you become a certain kind of person. And that certain kind of person can be attractive to a certain kind of person, like someone else. So for you it can be a thing, but for someone else it might not be. So when he says these points, he should just keep it to himself. And the thing is, he's gained such clout that he can't even do that. He has some dumb followers all around who feel misogyny is cool, and those are the people who pushes content and algorithm throughout. And we get to see it, and some impressionable minds, some kid somewhere, in some part of the world, see these videos and feel insecure about themselves. I don't know what this video is about, by the way. I'm just reacting to one part and seeing where it goes. Okay.
For me to clean up. That is misogyny.
Why?
Because you are encouraging a mindset about
He says, why, bro? I can't stop at every 5 seconds and, just speak. How is that not misogyny? You are calling out a certain section of women. What, bro? Like, come on. He says, why? You're coming here, I think, to apologize for whatever actions and, wordings that you've used on your videos. And you're not even doing that. What is why? You are disrespecting a 25-year-old woman, whoever that or he might be. A certain group of women who fall in that number. And if for him, if 25 is not attractive, I'm pretty sure 30, 35 are definitely not attractive to him. He just, according to him, he dates 18-year-olds. And that's weird, bro. That's so weird. Oh my God.
25-year-old women that makes them sound out to be infinitely less desirable than 18, 19-year-olds, and having effectively been having too much sex to be taken in a more respectful way.
Well, firstly, even if that was the case, that wouldn't be misogyny.
But what did you mean by what you said?
That's not misogyny because it's not anti-women. I'm saying that an 18 or a 19-year-old woman would be more desirable.
Pretty anti-25-year-old woman.
Anti-25-year-old women we can argue, but not misogyny.
Well, that's misogyny then, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Well, being anti any woman at all is misogyny.
Not when I'm saying that women are beautiful and attractive at a certain age and saying the age.
You're saying 18, 19-year-olds are more attractive than 25.
Well, than ageist perhaps, but misogyny.
What the fuck is ageist, bro? The fuck is ageist? I literally had to Google this, man. Oh my God. What is ageist? Did he just find out a new word or something? Like, just add a term and then add IST and just make it something or the other. He's trying to defend him not being a misogynist and he's coming up with random terms. Ageist, really, bro? No, it's misogyny. Come on. Oh, don't be that dumb. I really thought that he paid people to be dumb on his podcast so that he becomes dumb plus one, right? And dumb plus one is still dumb, by the way. It's just negligible difference. So he's dumb plus one, and people who sit on his podcast are dumb. So he pays them to be dumb, and he becomes dumb plus one. And people find him attractive, and people find his videos watchable. He doesn't do shit. He just sits bare body, smokes a cigar, and he thinks that he's correct about everything he says. No, dude, you're just affecting young minds who are impressionable, and that is a huge toll that you have to take. People are going to call you out, and that will have serious implications on your own health and mental well-being. And take it for a fact, your mental health will go down with time if these things keep happening with you. You need to stop doing this shit.
Misogynistic, absolutely.
Is that
not.
but you just accepted it was misogyny?
No, I didn't. You said it was misogyny. I'm telling you, no, it's not.
But if a 26-year-old woman is watching this and has heard those comments,
Yeah.
would you just say to her, look, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that?
No, I won't. I will say that I am sorry that offends you. However, there's a large contingent of the world.
That doesn't mean you're sorry.
No, I'm not sorry. That's the point I'm making. I'm sorry if that offends you. However, there's a large contingent of the world that believe that, and I was mediating for a conversation.
Parts of the world that believe that about 26-year-old women.
What world? What world is he talking about? What world does believe in this thing? Which world? The world that he comes from? Is he using his geographical presence right now, or wherever he was born at, as an advantage to promote his content? So, if anything, he's using his large part of the world or wherever he's born at to show that a small section of people believe in this. If anything, he's contradicting his own self. That's what he's doing, right? He's coming from somewhere he feels is a forward class of people, and he's using a smaller class of people who have really backward mindset, and he's trying to use them as content and gain clout. That's what he's doing, basically. But I don't see any group of a large group of people believing in this, that a 25-year-old woman is less attractive than an 18-year-old woman. 18-year-old, dude, I don't know what to say.
Are parts of the world where women are not allowed out on their own.
That's a conversation.
They have to wear full burqas.
Well, that's a conversation.
They're not allowed to drive cars.
That's nothing to
Talking about Middle East, by the way.
do with me.
But is that the kind of world for women that you?
I was mediating a conversation.
No, I'm asking you what you think.
I don't live in a country where that happens.
You're using that as the excuse for why you're not sorry.
Exactly, bro. What? That is what I exactly said. He's using that as an excuse because he's not from that part of the world. He's using those ideologies to promote his content. If anything, that is nothing else than misogyny. That is textbook misogyny, dude. What is he trying to do? What is this interview about? It makes no sense. Piers Morgan is just wasting his time because he's not even accepting anything. He's not even making a decent point, because I don't think he can ever make a decent point. Because right now Piers Morgan is throwing him straight questions, right? That is what he's doing. Straight questions, and he doesn't have answers to it. Because the people who sits with him during podcasts, right? The people who sit with him during podcasts, I think they're paid. They're definitely paid. I have not watched his podcast at once. The only thing that I saw is when I get those on shorts. Maybe 30 seconds. That's it. Maybe I think I've watched his content for an entire 5 minutes. And I'm really freaked out with his content. I don't want to watch it again. It's very fucked up. But right now, what Piers Morgan is doing, because he's a sensible person, right? He makes logic. He makes sense. He's using those sense to ask questions, and he doesn't have any answer, bro. What the hell?
Sorry for saying it.
It's not an excuse.
Is that there are parts of the world where this is fine.
My friend.
So my question to you is, well, do you think it's fine?
I don't think it's fine. I live in a world where
You don't think it's fine?
the reason
This isn't that hard, Andrew. You can just...
So now he says he doesn't think it's fine. And now he's using it as a content, by the way. He thinks it's not fine for those minority or whatever country he's talking about, possibly Middle East, right, where women have lesser rights. But we can't use it in a larger scale to imply that everyone should be treated like that, because that is not correct. We need to call it out. Female not being allowed on street, not being allowed to drive a car is not cool, bro. It is 2022. Come on, dude. Oh my god. You cannot use this as a content and then come out and say these things on social media and then again try to defend it by saying he doesn't know what to answer. He believes in them, and then he doesn't know what to answer back.
Simply say, Piers, you know what? With the benefit of hindsight, I wish I hadn't said it like that. And if a 26-year-old woman's watching, I'm sorry I said that, because that actually is blatantly misogynist. And even though that's a view held by other parts of the world, it's not a view I share. Now, I would respect you more if you said that than if you try and say...
This is a video where Andrew Tate has to come out and say these things. But Piers Morgan, for some reason, has prepared an apology note that Andrew Tate should have said. What a journalist, bro. Like, hats off. He's using his own client who's coming in to give an interview. And he doesn't know shit. He doesn't know what to say in an interview. The one time he faces a serious interview, he fucks up. Because the people are paid, bro. Those are paid actors. I don't think anyone on his podcast, they are real people. Like, either they're paid handsomely. Even the guys, dude. I'm just not talking about girls. I think none of them are dumb. They're just playing dumb so that he looks a bit smart. You know, there was a thing where I can recall this event, you know, when I used to play music in my car, and my dad was, you know, dad used to be sitting beside me. He used to ask me to lower the volume. So what I used to do is, because I don't want to lower it, right? I want to hear to good bass music. So what I used to do is I used to turn the volume up by 2 and then lower it by 2. So it would feel like I lowered the volume, but I did not. I just increased it and lowered it back again. So it doesn't make any sense. People are still trying. He will be satisfied. So my dad in this case is the audience that is watching the video, and I'm Andrew Tate. That's what I'm doing. What the fuck, bro?
Well, it's said in other parts of the world, so I'm not sorry.
I think
that doesn't tell me what you think.
Then you need to understand why my content existed.
I'll tell you why his content existed. His content existed because he saw that there is a gap where he can exploit and a very big gap that he can exploit, that being the gap between two genders. And he saw a lot of other people, you know, like who were not okay with their genders. Questions were arising on people not being okay with the genders that they were being born with. They would want to change their genders. And this became a huge gap. This became a huge tussle. People cannot be okay with what they have been given, right? And they would want to change about things about themselves. And if they, right now in 2022, they have the power to change genders or to change however they wanted to be looked at, they have all the power to do it. And we are no one to judge it or say something about it, right? Outright. That's how things should be. If they want to feel a certain way, look a certain way, we don't want to question it. But he found a loophole where he found a certain group of people who felt that these people who feel that gender should be oppressive, a certain gender should be oppressive upon certain genders. He found a loophole, and he found a large amount of people who believed in his way, and he started pushing his content. That was his content. That's it. Nothing else. He just started pushing random shitty content, started being bare-bodied, used his body as an objectification tool, brought on ladies, beautiful girls, paid them hefty money. I'm sure he had some amount of investment money for these trashy videos, right? Paid them good amount of money, and and paid them to act dumb, because I don't think no one is that dumb. You know, if you pay someone money, if someone is in need of money, they will do crazy shit, and that is what he's exploiting at this point of time.
In the first place, my content existed because I tried my very hardest to be an absolute and utter realist, especially with uncomfortable truths.
Uncomfortable truth, by the way. It's not even the truth. Whatever he's saying is far away from truth. Oh my god. Truth, what truth? He's just not there. Like, it's farther than the sun. He's just not there. He feels just because you can see the sun, that's the truth. He doesn't know what the distance from earth to sun is. It's very far. He's that far away from truth. What truth is he talking about? It's not the truth. His content is just clout caning a pussy business, dude. It's a very pussy business. And by pussy business, I mean something of a cowardly act. That's what he's doing. He's just trying to, influence impressionable minds. That's what he's doing. That's not cool.
I was pointing out that very uncomfortable.
Is that a truth?
It's an uncomfortable truth in many parts of the world. It's not a truth that I'm happy about.
An inquest this week found that
he uses many parts of the world, and then he says that it's not cool, and he makes content supporting that truth. What is this joke? Bro, I mean, I can't, bro. Like, I'll take 30 minutes to fucking record this video to for what? This nonsense, bro. Like, come on.
A 14-year-old girl, Molly Russell, died from an act of self-harm while suffering from depression and the negative effects of online content. The coroner said she was exposed to material that may have influenced her in a negative way, and in addition, what started as depression had become a much more serious depressive illness, and she very sadly took her life.
That's absolutely disgusting.
Right.
Firstly, condolences to her family. I didn't know it would get this dark, but it is really sad that someone actually. I mean, I'm sure there are other people as well. This was reported, so we know it. But I'm pretty sure there are other people who have done these kind of acts in the past because social media has been a really harmful tool for them. And when videos like this, when people like this start promoting content like this, he's been banned, right? But still we see his videos somehow. He's on some platform called Rumble. I don't know what exactly. I don't even follow him. But because he's on this interview right now on YouTube, so I wanted to make this interview. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have made it. He's banned, right? He's banned. But his videos aren't banned. I can still make videos on him. Why? Because, again, you can kill the person, but you can't kill the idea. People will still make videos. He is banned. His content is not. So YouTube can't do shit. If I start putting random Andrew Tate fucking videos on my channel, YouTube won't do shit. Because his personal channel is banned and not his content. I think the correct way of dealing with these people is to ban his content and not just him. Leave him alone. Just ban his content. You have to kill the idea. Because, people like these will appear somewhere or the other. He feels it's really sad, which is, come on, everyone should feel at this point of time. But again, I don't believe anything he says at this point of time. Oh, fuck. I fucked it up.
I'm not sorry.
I think you need comfortable truths.
Of online content. What started as depression and became.
That's absolutely disgusting.
Right. Her father.
It's terrible.
Her father's campaign for better protections against potentially dangerous social media algorithms, right? It says that the particularly graphic content she saw romanticized acts of self-harm, normalized her condition, and focused on a limited and irrational view without any counterbalance of normality. First of all, what is your response to that? Nothing to do with you.
That's the first thing. Yeah, it is nothing to do with me.
Of course it has nothing to do with you, bro. Of course it has nothing to do with you. Like nothing at all. Because the content was from social media and it was just a bit off from whatever you preach. It has of course nothing to do with you, right? But you can still preach this dumb logic where people are taught to treat depression as some kind of, I don't know, an escape way from reality so that, people don't pity them. Where it's actually a full-fledged medical condition and he feels people who are depressed are weak. He's not far off from whatever, was the reason for that girl taking her own life. He's not far off from that. His content is very close by to those things as well, where people who are actually depressed for years and years look at his content like, oh my god, I'm depressed, but he says depression is nothing, and he has like 1 million views on his video. He must be correct. Oh my god, I'm such a loser in life that I took a false kind of a delusion thing and made it into a real symptom, and it's not even a thing. Oh my god, what a pathetic human being I am. And then okay, fuck it, I'm gonna take my life. What, bro? Like, it has nothing to do with you. How dare he say that? Like, it has everything to do with you, because someone at some point of time must have seen his video, gotten inspired in a wrong way and started making similar videos. Maybe not as huge as him, did not get that clout. He got boosted by the algorithm. Maybe that person did not, but he still manages to influence maybe 10,000 people or 20,000 people with the views that he gets. And he still preaches this same shit. And it will affect some impressionable mind, some teenage kid at some point of the world. It's not cool to be sitting here and blatantly, doing whatever he's doing on this interview. He's not even, he's far away from facts, he's far away from logic, he's far away from being, I don't know, decent human being. I don't know what to call it at this point of time.
The fact that a 14-year-old girl took her life is truly sad.
It's truly sad.
The world we live in today is the world we live in. The fact that something like that happened is almost mind-blowing to me. That's truly sad. I actually feel sad inside to see something like
it's mind-blowing to him, but he'll keep on promoting trashy content, whereas he will say things like misogyny is cool. he'll say things like he respects women, and the very next line he contradicts it. He feels that there was a video where he felt like men pilots are safer than women pilots, and he has a very trash logic behind it as well, where he says that women will make a lot more emotional decisions and men will not. Really, that is how it works, right? That is how you think life works. Cool, man.
Like that.
What has come clear to me in the interview is that a lot of things you say you wouldn't say now that you've said before.
I'd say them differently, perhaps.
Yeah, right. So to me, that's an acceptance, not just that you want to get back on platforms.
Of course, he doesn't want to get exactly. That was the point I'm trying to make. Why is he on the Piers Morgan show, by the way? Because he wanted to publicly apologize, right? He wants to get back on this platform because he's been banned, and this is the first step for him to, I don't know, to gain some kind of acceptance with some, whatever crowd he thought he offended. But I don't think he feels that he offended the majority of the population of the world who watch social media. I don't think he feels that. He understands that he did influence a lot of people in a certain way that is not positive. But certainly, because he says, of course, who doesn't want more money? Who doesn't want to be on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, right? Not advocate.
Because maybe that was one of the reasons you were no platform. But that you've recognized and understood the potential harm to the wrong kind of impressionable mind by some of the things you've said. Would that be fair?
I think that's 80% fair.
What is 80%, bro? What is 80%? Who quantifies these things? I am going to have 80% of my dinner. What is these things? Like, what are these values? What is 80%? Either you're accountable or you're not. Whatever you said is bullcrap. Just accept it and move on. Maybe make better content.
I recognize and understand that with massive fame, you have to be more careful about being misconstrued. Like I said earlier, 1% of people misunderstanding you doesn't matter with a small audience. It matters with a very large audience. With power comes responsibility. I still believe the things I say. I do not want to be a negative force for the world.
He doesn't want to be a negative force, by the way. He doesn't want that, but he's still, promote trashy content. Right now, to this date, just guessing, if you just go to his whatever social media account he's active on, I don't know which one, he will still be making these kind of videos. He must have. I don't want to go there, but if someone wants to check, just go there and see if he's still making them or not. Where he has all the like bullshit ideas worth content, and he keeps speaking, dude. Like, he has a cigar on his hand and he just keeps speaking for no reason. I don't think he should be allowed to speak. No. He has a very positive attitude. If anything, that to him, he feels that he has a very positive attitude. But I feel it's just pseudo masculinity, where he feels a certain gender needs to be oppressed for a certain gender to be accepted as a alpha breed or something like that.
I also understand that I am a man who's lived a very difficult, nuanced life, and I am capable of making nuanced points that may be misunderstood by teenagers. However, that can be said about anybody and everything. Every opinion online can be misunderstood by children.
We as children, he says that children can misunderstand anything, right? We grew up, not pretty far away, like 15 years ago, we were still growing up, right? We watched fucking Tom and Jerry. We watched Doraemon, we watched Shin-chan and stuff like that. Maybe some anime, Pokemon. We had very clear idea of life, and right now we don't discriminate genders, we don't discriminate caste, we don't do that, dude. But right now it's the age of social media. If you are there, you have certain responsibilities. Just don't push content like these where someone or the other gets affected and you are held accountable. It's not healthy for you, it's not healthy for anyone else, because you saw yourself get banned, right? If this continues, I think your content will be banned. He's trying this interview for him is, I think, a redemption arc where he's trying to come back to these kind of platforms back again, mainstream media like YouTube, right? He wants to come back. So I don't think this interview helped him. He's just making worthless points here.
trying to protect children from the internet is a very interesting subject in and of itself, because I would argue that 80% of the content on the internet can be negative or detrimental.
Why would you argue, bro? Like, I have seen content on the internet which is as simple as how to pick up a blue chair. The most watched video on the internet is a kid's video. Some shark, yeah, no, something like that. I don't know. What content are you talking about which are negative? Like, what is negative about those videos? Just because you feel there are people like you who exist, you're living in some parallel space, you feel that all content are that toxic. It's not. There are great videos that you can watch and nothing will affect you. And majority of the videos are like that. Nothing, like, for kids to go out there. Of course, they will have access to everything once you enter YouTube. I get that part. Hence parental controls, bro. But when you push your content through all the other accounts, of course your account may be blocked, not for kids, maybe someone else's will not, and you try to promote your content through other accounts as well because of the pyramid scheme that you have. Bring me more clients for my hustle academy or whatever you have, and I'll give you some money. Give you more money so that I can give you some money. That's your basic idea of making money, isn't it? So your account may be not for children, but someone else's might not be. Stop making fucking stupid content, bro. Stop making them so that you are not held accountable, and no other accounts, can reach other children.
To a young mind that doesn't understand the world.
That's it. Again, people like Piers Morgan should do better. That's what I feel. Like, they should not invite these people and help them get more fame, because you're calling them to mainstream media, TV, still the biggest platform for sharing news and stuff like that. And when Andrew Tate comes on it, he'll still spread bullshit. That's what he did for the past 6 minutes. The 6-minute whatever preview that it was, he spoke nonsense. It did not make sense one time. What 80%? I don't know. What is 80% of allegation that he'll accept? What is 80%? You are 100% garbage. I don't know what to say about Andrew Tate, dude. Like, he's an absolute different breed. Again, don't watch his content. Like, if you feel like you could be a better human being, or you want to be a better human being, just avoid his content, and I think you'll be really great in your life. And watch my videos, Humble Discussions. Make sure like, comment, subscribe, and I will be back and seeing you in the next one.